Hey guys, DemoniusX here. I hope everybody's doing well or sleeping right now. It's 3:24 where I am at, and I just want to talk a little bit about insomnia. Just kind of like a video log thing, vlog. A magical word that everyone seems to like what comes out of my mouth. Whatever. Anyway, so I hope you all are doing well in terms of sleep. I wish I could say the same thing. I've been struggling with sleep for years now, and it pisses me off. And as you've seen in my past insomnia videos that I've made in the past, my disdain for all the internet help in terms of how those things don't work, because they simply don't. I mean, like when you write down the things that you need to get done the following day, you notice that it's still up there in your head, and just writing it down ain't going to rid of that out of your mind. It's going to be there until you experience it, get it done, and it's out of your way. And then that way, then it leaves your mind, and then you feel less stressed about it. Also, they've mentioned some other stupid shit like imagining yourself asleep. That doesn't work. That may give you a matter of fact, that may give you a little bit of an experience I like to call OBE, out of body experience, because if you imagine yourself asleep, sometimes you just get that feeling where you're awake but you don't feel like you're in your body. It's a very strange feeling. I will have to admit that, but that's pretty much is what it is, I guess. There's nothing I can really say. It's a very strange sensation, I can tell you that much. But imagining yourself asleep doesn't seem to work either. Um, Gosh, there's of course reading. Reading, it's more of a calming activity, because when you read, you start to feel stuff winding down, and your brain isn't all especially if you're reading something stupid, it kind of bores you to the point where your eyes get tired from looking at all the words, and you're just like, okay, well, let's just go to sleep. And sometimes that can work depending on the person you are. Unfortunately, books don't work with me because I'm interested in the story, and if it's something I'm interested in, I want to read more and catch up on whatever it is that I can find in a book and what's interesting in it, especially if it's a story or if it's something that I'm remotely interested in. So, reading doesn't really work for me. I mean, there are times I'll lay down and read my tablet for a little bit, but that's also not a good idea, because that blue hue from the light on all smart devices have a way of fucking with your melatonin levels in your brain. So you don't want to really do that. My main method that I use for sleep most of the time is I put on a video I've seen 100 times before. I put the screen face down on my pillow, and I just listen to the sound. And usually about 98% of the time I drift off to sleep. But that's not always the case. So there's that. Um, hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much about it when it comes to natural remedies. Uh, so what else can you really do? Well, there's of course chemical ways of helping you sleep. One of the pills I'm on, it's called amitriptyline. It's a tricyclic antidepressant, and if I take half of one, that usually puts me up for 12 hours on a good day. But the last time I took it, it did nothing at all. I took an amitriptyline. I drank a glass of chamomile. I went for a 2 mile walk, and what did I do then? And I rode my exercise bike about 3 miles. And eventually, around I want to say 3 in the afternoon, I was able to fall asleep. But I mean, it just doesn't happen all the time, and it really pisses me off. I just don't understand what's going on in my brain that stops me from sleeping. Because I do pretty much everything that is necessary to sleep. I try to go outside and get some melatonin in my system. That's why I look like shit. I was outside most of the day, and here I am still wide awake. But when you go outside, you get vitamin D from the sun, and your brain level, melatonin levels seem to reset, which is supposed to help for sleep. And it did help for like a week. But after that, it stopped. So it's a very frustrating aspect of things. That's for sure. So, well, and for some people like me who suffer from anxiety and panic disorder, some of us are lucky enough to get something called Xanax, which is a benzodiazepine, which I don't like to take unless I'm really at a point where I cannot control the panic attack. Because when you're in a state of panic, the one thing you do is, of course, there's the fight or flight mode that goes on in your brain, which either run or you stay still and fight the symptoms. Um, that's not easy, especially if you get one of those highs that are just a, like real above your head, and you do every natural thing to cure it, such as deep breathing and trying to focus on things that don't suck. But the problem is, when you're in that high mode, you cannot. When you're in that high of a mode, sometimes you just simply cannot bring yourself down, and your brain doesn't. You can't control the way your brain thinks during a panic attack. At least I can't. When I have one, most of the time, I'm very much unable to focus on anything other than I'm gonna die, because that's pretty much what goes in my head. It's not like somebody talking or anything. It's a sensation. The sensation in my head says you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, and it's like you just can't get rid of it. And what sucks is when it keeps ramping up from that point. Your head, like your temples, feel like they're burning, and you just feel like your entire head is on fire, and you just feel like you're gonna drop dead any moment. It's a very, very scary and a very uncomfortable sensation, but it does happen. And in that case, then I take a Xanax because nothing else seems to work. So, and Xanax does also offer sleep, a sedative, to where your body is calmed enough to where you can go to get some sleep. You get tired, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, the point of this video I'm saying is you're not alone. I suffer from insomnia. I suffer from panic and anxiety disorder. I suffer bipolar type 1. It's not an easy life, guys. If you guys have, any of these problems, I hope you can find the help you need. I hope you can find a way to fight against it. It's not always bad, but there are those days where it is terrible and it eats you up alive from the inside out. I also have PTSD from things I've dealt with in my past, and I didn't handle them right because I was never taught how to handle those things. It's not a fair world, man. Some people are just dealt with cards, and they just got to deal with them as best they can. And all I can say is, I know I'm not looking at the camera. I'm sorry. But all I'm just gonna say is, you guys aren't alone. I've been there. I'm 36 years old, and I still continue to fight these things on a daily basis. I don't wish them on anybody. I mean, yeah, I'm a misanthrope by nature, of course, but for people I do know and care about, I don't hate them at all. Absolutely not. And even if I did, I wouldn't want them to suffer this way. I wouldn't want them to feel this way. Insomnia, anxiety, depression, all these things are they're horrible to feel that way. Just feeling like your very existence is on the verge of slipping away, and you don't know what to expect. It's it's a very hard thing to deal with. And I don't agree with therapy. I've already made that crystal clear on many occasions. I don't agree with CBT. I think CBT is a farce because, as I said, there's nobody I know that had it for the long term and helped them a lot. If it's helped you, great. That means I want to say you're weak, but you're really not. It is your brain isn't too far gone, and I think you have a different kind of depression. I don't know which one it is that doesn't require chemical. Uh, Basically, you don't need an SSRI. I refuse to take SSRIs because I've taken a lot in my life. I've taken, let's see, Zoloft, Boost Bar, yeah, Boost Bar, we can count that, even though it's not an antidepressant, but I took in Prozac, Boost Bar, Zoloft, Paxil, Butrin. That made me angry. That made me really angry to the point where, yeah, it was not good. Let's see, what else did I take? Trazodone. Amitriptyline is a tricyclic antidepressant, but that really doesn't help. Well, that's not entirely true. It does help sometimes. Let's see, Remeron, uh, Lexapro, and there was Effexor and Effexor XR. So I've been on a lot, and they never helped. Effexor may have worked for maybe a couple months, much like Zoloft. Zoloft used to work for me. I used to take 300 milligram pills a day. I would take one 3 times a day, and it worked for a while, for a little bit. But the fucking side effects outweigh the benefits. Feeling dizzy and lost for a few hours, sometimes blacking out from standing up too high because of the blood pressure issue. This is mankind bullshit. It really is. Well, as you know, I live in the state of Oklahoma, and hopefully there's a vote coming this June, and hopefully it passes for medical marijuana. And I kind of hope that I qualify, because when I was a teenager, I did indica, and it did help a lot. I was laughing, I felt happy, I felt lighter, and I loved feeling that way. I felt like nothing was wrong, and I would always ask myself, I'm like, why can't the pills I take for depression help like this does? I mean, everyone is so against marijuana, but there's not. I mean, yeah, there are some side effects, but everything has a side effect. You drink too much alcohol, you get fatty liver, and you die from cirrhosis of the liver, and you become an alcoholic, and you also ruin your life in the process. If you do anything too much, that happens. And if for some reason I do get approved for medical marijuana, I'm not just gonna smoke it like a dumb shit every day. No, I'm gonna have it like every couple days, just like like with beer. I drink maybe once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks, and I've mentioned this before. And if medical marijuana gets approved, and I am a candidate that can take it, that would assist me, I would love to. I would love to take something that's not these fucking pharmaceuticals. I cannot stand them. My doctor tries to keep putting me on different new antidepressants, and he keeps telling me to see a psychiatrist to take one, or to get one and take it, and it hopefully will better the situation. It doesn't. I've taken a lot of antidepressants, and they don't help. If it's helped you, great. I'm happy for it. I hope it helps you cope with the bullshit of life that we have to face through social constructs that need to be nuked by everything and everyone. Just put it on an island somewhere and nuke the motherfucker. Because a lot of people nowadays are unfortunately outcast because of society and how they like to judge people. Like, since I'm fat, I'm considered an outcast. And, well, they can go fuck right off with that shit, because, yeah, see, I'm looking at you and I'm giving you the middle finger. Put that straight up your ass when you get the elbow. The ride is over. All we can do is try to live day to day. Focus on the things that make us actually happy or close to being happy. And if nothing makes you happy, then maybe you need to look out and see if you can find things in which that will make you happy, or that you're able to do. Not every, these motherfuckers I see everywhere, especially these goddamn, like, these people that just think they understand the concepts of mental health, are just like, just get up and do something. Okay, some of us have something called a learning disorder, me included. We can't simply just learn things and go and do those things, okay? Some of these things require money. Some of these things require time. Some of these things require a drive. And some of these things require just things that are not within our reach. Either we have those things in place, or we don't. And if we can find a way to learn those things, great. But see, the thing that pisses me off is, like I said, the money is the root of all evil. And you have to use it in order to, pay for things. And if you want to learn something, you got to take it to learn a trade. If you want to do a trade, or you want to learn something that you've always been passionate about, or had it in the back of your mind that you were passionate about at one time, but you just suddenly just forgot about it because your mind is caught up with everything else, you got to have the money in order to do that. Most of the time. Like, I see these poor saps going to college, and yeah, they'll make something of themselves, maybe. You learn from fucking books. This motherfucker don't learn from books, capiche? I learn with hands-on training. I mean, you want me to read some fucking little letters from a goddamn book and then apply it up here? Go fuck yourself. My brain does not work like that. I'm sorry. I have to have hands-on control, hands-on experience. If I don't, I won't learn it. Because things that I read in a book do not apply up here. They do go up there, sure, but like I said, my brain has a difficulty, as you can even see with vlogs I've made in the past, or just videos I make. my brain just simply doesn't want to compute. Does that make me retarded? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I have low self-esteem. As a matter of fact, I have no self-esteem. There is nothing good about me. All right? I'm just like, this is the way I view my life, and I've said this many times before. My mom, dad, fuck, I came out 9 months later. I was part of a biological function that occurs when two people have sex and the conditions are right, or criteria, call it what you will. And I was born. There's no miracle involved. There's nothing special about you. Okay? You're a human construct that was made by two people who were in love, or they wanted to get the hanky-panky on. They wanted to fuck, basically. To make a long story short. So, you know, they say that you have just one life and you should make the most of it. If you have that ability, I implore you to do so. But if you don't have the ability, just do what I do and rot. You know, a lot of people always tell me, you know, you're obese, you're going to die. You know, here's the thing, though. That's good for 3 reasons if I die young. Okay? Reason number 1. You all know I'm on disability because I'm unable to work because of the way my mind is. Okay? I snapped back when I worked at Walmart. And since then, I've just been stressed out about everything. Anything that stresses me out, I shut down. My brain just, it's like hitting the switch on the computer screen. I shut down. And if I am basically cornered by something when I'm in that mode, then I blow up. And I have no control over that. I've tried many things. I'm not making excuses. That's just the way it is. Okay, so that would save the taxpayers money. Even though I do appreciate your generosity here for helping me out, thank you. I'm not John Asante, and I'm not going to say, "Hey, taxpayers, fuck you. I have all these medications because of you and shit." No, I appreciate the money you guys put in, and it helps people like me out. Even though I know some people fake it, and you can think that way about me, but it's not true. I got the paperwork. Well, I'm not going to show paperwork on the internet. That's just dumb. So there's that. So thank you. I paid into the system when I was able to work, and you know, take that as you will. Okay. Secondly, the older you get, the more pain you're in. And do I want to experience those things if I get old? Hell no. I'm already experiencing some of those now. I have arthritis in my back, and my lower spine is backwards. I have arthritis in my neck. If I move my neck a certain way for a long period of time, like if I were to go like that, ow. Yeah, that was a bad idea. Then that hurts. Uh, you know, of course, I'm obese. I've been obese all my life, never been thin. I don't think I ever will be. I can keep trying like I have been, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything, and so there's that. But, you know, maybe someday my body will just say, hey, fuck it, I'll give you the metabolism so you can finally burn some of that weight off from the bike rides and stuff. And if you know, and if you care to know, when I do my bike rides, I do up to 11 miles per ride. I don't do it every day because my legs. I retain water. I have edema, and I retain a lot of water. And I do take a water pill. It's called torsamide. I used to take, can't remember the fucking name of it. Lasix. I used to take Lasix, but that made me feel like my brain was dry, and it was very uncomfortable. And Microzide just made me black out when I would just sit there, because it's like lisinopril and some sort of water pill concoction, and it used to make me just black out because of the blood pressure fluctuations. So that sucks. And reason number 3, I don't want to live in the world that we live in right now. I don't like it. I hate it. And it's just going to get worse because I'm forced to agree with lifestyles and choices and things that I have to be subjected to without having a say in it. I'm just forced to accept it. And I don't want to. I refuse to. I shouldn't have to. And I won't, because I don't. There's no law that states that I have to. Unless I make some sort of hate crime towards whatever lifestyle it is, you know, then it's not, I don't think it's a problem. You know, I don't like the social types we have in this country, or in the world. I don't like feminism, as I've stated millions of times before. And, you know, anti-fascists can go fuck right off as well. I mean, there's just a lot of, like, just things out there that I don't agree with and I don't like. And it just, you know, and I just see it getting worse. And I don't want to be a part of that. So, you know, maybe it's a good thing I'm obese, because then I'll die early. And that'll be okay, because when I pass away, who cares? I won't have to be a part of it anymore. You get, you can save your money from what you put into the system, and yeah. So maybe maybe that's a good thing. I mean, the only reason why I do the things that I do in terms of losing weight is because there are a very minuscule amount of people who care about me, and for those people, I appreciate it. Thank you, but you don't have to. You don't have to care about me if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. And if you care about me, of course I'll care about you. It's a two-way street. You know, it's a very, like I said, it's a very hard life we all live in, especially with insomnia and depression problems and dealing with day-to-day things and people acting like entitled babies thanks to their smart devices. People just wanting this and that. They're getting excited over things that aren't worth being excited for. But that's just me talking. I'm not excited for anything, to be honest. There's nothing I'm looking forward to in this life anymore, because there's nothing. Really think about it. There's nothing. Maybe a war will break out. That might be interesting for a while, but overall it'll suck, because a lot of people will die and a lot of things will change and it'll just become a clusterfuck. And you don't want that, right? I don't really care either way. I mean, like I said, I'm just living day to day like the rest of you. I'm just trying to go through the bullshit like the rest of you. Maybe not in the same level or same degree, but it's still there. But, you know, all I'm just going to say is I'm right there with you guys if you suffer any of these issues. Insomnia is such a pain in the ass, and depression is, and having no self worth or, I guess, happiness. I haven't been happy for years, guys, to be honest with you. Yeah, I have my little moments here and there, of course, of just a couple minutes of ignorant bliss, but beyond that point, it's nothing. You know, we're all just a blur in the universe for a limited amount of time, and then our time is done, and it's like we just existed for a little amount of time, and then we're gone, and we'll have nothing left behind. So I guess with all these things that I stated here, uh, I hope you all are getting good sleep. I hope you find reasons for living and reasons to keep going. And I hope that if you have ways to do the things that you're passionate about or things that you want to see in life, and you have the means to do it, and your brain ain't like mine, a sloppy piece of messy shit, then please do those things. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, you only have that one life to live, and if it means a lot to you, then you need to do things in order to live it to the fullest, to find reasons to be. You know, don't be like me, a person that's just pretty much bitter and given up, a person that just, I guess, that this doesn't have much to live for, I guess. But I'm here until this thing stops beating. I'm here. Take that as you will, I suppose. But like I said, you don't have to listen to me. I don't expect anyone to, but I know maybe a couple people will. And thank you for listening in. But my point still stands. If you have the ability, or you know of a way to make it better than what you may have right now, if you have that drive, do it. You know, like I said, you only live once. Once that's done, it's over. I mean, it won't matter because once you're dead, none of that will matter anyways because you don't have a conscience anymore. You're gone. And when you're gone, you don't have any recollection of anything that you've done in your life. But if it means something to you to actually do those things so you can die a happy man in your bed or in a car crash or drug overdose or just whatever way that something happens and whatever it may be out there that will end you, go ahead and do those things. You know, you don't want to wait too long before you get either too old or too cynical to not do those because it's just not worth it. Just don't sit and dwell about it. Just if you have the ability, do it. If you have family, spend time with it, especially if they love you. You can have a family like mine who don't even talk to each other. I'm pretty sure some of you can relate to that as well. I'm not sure. I don't have a good relationship with my parents. I don't even talk to my brother and sister anymore ever since I moved. I could give a fuck less about my aunts and uncles. A lot of them passed away in the past few years. I didn't even shed one tear because I don't care. Why care about somebody that doesn't care about me? You know, that's the way it is. I mean, I only shed tear for those that I've actually feel very close to and endure about. You know, for those that are close to you, you want to make sure you talk to them, spend any time with them you can, and enjoy a life, do things together. You know, because one day, tomorrow, they could be gone. See, like I mentioned in the past, my family has never had any closeness to them, and you know, my only friends now are my family. Or I'm sorry, the only family I have now are my friends. I mean, they're more of a family to me than my actual family is. It's sad to say it like that, but in reality, I'm happy with that. I'm happy as I can be anyway. They look after me. They always make sure I'm okay. Things of that nature. And it's nice to be cared about. You don't want to go through life and not be cared about because it's awfully lonely. I've been there before. And sometimes I still feel that way. But I know that if I were to go to Discord where I hang out, you know, if I would explain that I was feeling like shit, they would be like, hey, head on the voice chat and talk to me. If you need to vent, go ahead and vent your frustrations and what you're upset about. You know, it's nice to have that. Not everyone does. You know, but you know, like they say, life is short. If you find the means to do something you want to do, and you can do it, you know, and if you are suffering from stuff that I have, like insomnia and depression and all that, it's okay. You're not alone. Anyways, I've been dragging on this video for a long time. I keep repeating myself. I apologize. I just want to get it out there, like all the words that I can conjure in this vlog to I guess connect with you, I guess, or connect in a way that you may feel similar or the same, or you realize your life ain't that bad, and the fat man in the camera, you know, he proves a point. I'm not him, so I don't have to be a disgusting looking human being on camera. You know, I'm not exactly a Chad, but you know, I'm somebody that could do something. I'm not him. I'm me. I'm better than him. So maybe it's not all bad. So if that gives you the drive to keep going, good. I'm glad I did something right. Anyways, I guess that's all I gotta say. Really, I sincerely hope all of you that are suffering from insomnia, that you'll get some sleep. Those who are suffering depression, take take care that you're not alone. And if you find the drive to do something that you want to do, and you have the ability, and your brain doesn't stop you, do it. And that's all I really gotta say. So, anyways, hope you all have a good night. Take good care of yourselves, and I guess I'll see you later. Have a good one.